Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery here. We get together most weekday mornings at 8 o'clock Central to visit with our current and prospective distribution partners. What we do, you and I, what we do together is so important because there's a problem. And the problem is that most small business owners want to need capital to either start or to grow their business. So that's the problem that you and I solve. Do we solve it by some magic trick or some magic bank that loans money to anyone? No. What you and I do is we use a grant subsidized program, a proven legal, ethical, moral model to create a fundable business on paper. So that's what it takes to get business funding, is to have a fundable business. Now, the problem, furthermore, is that a lot of small business owners haven't been taught this. So a big part of what you and I need to do is to increase financial literacy. They know they have a problem, right? If they have it, they want and need money, but they don't know the problem. And so I want to give you a quick overview. We had a detailed discussion yesterday, but unfortunately the recording didn't catch. Normally we record our morning sessions. Yesterday wasn't recorded, unfortunately. So the point that we made yesterday is that the ChapmanLoanProgram.org is kind of a one-page resource for everything involving this grant subsidized program. So if you are a current distribution partner, it's really important that you spend, I would say, a significant amount of time orienting you towards what's on this page. Because if you are a distribution partner, we send you editable versions of the resources, the client agreement, press releases, PowerPoint, and so forth. And then you're able to go out to the marketplace under your branding, under your umbrella. That's the concept that we have, whereby you're the white label partner, the private label partner, whatever you want to call it. One recent change that we made to the ChapmanLoanProgram.org website is, if we scroll down, there's a new section. This section did not exist before. So some of the feedback that we received from a number of you, Larry and a couple others, is that we needed to do a better job of segmenting out some key resources for our distribution partners. Now, again, nothing has passwords. You're welcome to look at anything and everything. And if you are a distribution partner, that's probably relevant. But what I want to do over the next few minutes is bring your attention to the resources. There are 4 that are here under the distribution partner information. The first one is a link, and you'll see the click here link. The first one is a link to get set up. So if you're not currently set up as a distribution partner, this is where you would start. And we use the term opportunity fund. So let's describe that a bit of why and what. So there are really 2 types of people that become distribution partners. The first group, which is probably each of you, you're entrepreneurs, right? You're looking to make money. You want to have some product or service, some good, something to offer to clients that can, of course, help them and make you money. So the first group of people that are distribution partners are entrepreneurs that's looking for a way to make money. The second group of distribution partners, and there's nothing wrong with that, of course. The second group of distribution partners we have are simply our clients. So individuals who are going through the program to have a fundable business. But you know what? Some of them have a need for additional cash flow. So, of course, they can create cash flow by selling muffins or repairing cars or doing tax returns, whatever their business model is. But some of the clients say they need working capital now, earned income, not just debt. So that's why when they came up with the opportunity fund, they positioned it as it is. It's a way for, regardless if you're just an entrepreneur or if you're a client, regardless of the reason why you're involved, it's designed to create daily bank deposits. Well, why would you think that daily bank deposits are important? Well, any business should be generating income, creating a profit, otherwise it's not sustainable. But as we're positioning a business for funding, of course, their capacity. Remember, we learned about the 3 C's: credit, collateral, and capacity. Capacity is the same as cash flow. So, daily bank deposits is something that's very attractive to some, not all, of the participants, the clients themselves. So, when you see the term opportunity fund, or financial literacy educator, or branch office, those are all just different terms that mean the same thing. So don't be confused by that. So I can even pull it up here. It'll pop up a new screen. And this is where you would become a distribution partner if you're not already, and if you wish to. So there's that. The second training under distribution partner information is really, really, really important that you go through. And I'll pop it up here. It's a YouTube training, so we won't play it. Of course, you can listen to it at your convenience, but I'll start it and then I'll pause it once.
Small business owners who want to save.
Of course, it's going to come up with a commercial, but regardless, it is important.
You should go to buyberg.com to get a policy in less than 5 minutes. As part of it.
So here we go with the commercial, but let's get past the commercial. So what we have on this second link here is, in fact, an explanation of the 4 phases, because it's important, if you're going to be a distribution partner, to understand what we do and why we do it and when it happens and what the value proposition is to the client, and then how you get paid. So this is a very effective walkthrough of that. Now, I will mention there's essentially 2 versions of this 4 phases. There's one that's from a client perspective. So right here, it's the same graphic, but it's almost a role play for clients. So frankly, you could click on this. We'll go ahead and click on it. And we can make it full size. We can turn the volume off. All goes well. And so you can see it's an 18-minute overview. So this version here, and you could download it, right? You can click share and download it. So this here is literally a tool that's ready for you to use. It's not 100% white label, but it's pretty close to it. It's not directing people away from you, because remember, as a white label, as private label, as a branch, you're enrolling the clients. You're not referring them to us. So what's the point that I'm making? The second link gives you a version of the 4-phase discussion that gets you prepared to understand it from your viewpoint as a distribution partner. But also, there is a version up here that you can download that you could share with clients if you don't feel that you're comfortable to tell the story yet. But regardless, the 4 phases is very important, because it does describe what we do for the client when it happens. Everyone follow? So very important that if you are a distribution partner, that of course, you enroll, so you understand that, but that this is a really good resource. I know a number of you are out teaching at churches and chambers and other places. I really like taking, and we've provided you, and we can provide it to you again if you need it, an editable version of this. So you can go ahead and put your information on it and use this as a talking point or a leave behind. All right, so then the third link under distribution partner training, and I'll go ahead and bring it up, and then we'll mute it as soon as it starts rattling there. I guess it is muted already. So this is a longer discussion that talks about the sales process, because regardless if you're adverse to sales or that terminology or not, so primarily what you and I do, we're financial literacy educators. We're educating, but ultimately you need clients to enroll. Otherwise, you're not going to make any money. So the purpose of this training, and of course there's more to it, is to walk you through the sales process. And here's another pesky commercial. We pass that. And so then it even talks about that it's important to recognize that as a sales organization, you really probably need to consider that there's three aspects. There's the lead generation, which happens to be highlighted right there. Where do you get leads from? Lots of different places. Getting appointments set with them, or at least connecting with the prospect, and then closing. And what we talked about in this training that you can view, again, it's the third one here, is that you may want to outsource some of those aspects. Maybe you don't want to generate leads. That's fine. You can outsource that. Maybe you don't want to set appointments. That's fine. You can outsource that. Maybe you don't want to enroll people. That's fine. You can outsource that. So we talked about that in this training. Because again, you're running a business. You're the CEO, president, boss with a capital B of your branch. And so generating profit has to be the focus. Otherwise, any business will cease to exist without profit. This, I think, is very helpful. So if you're not very familiar with it, I encourage you to go view it. And then the last of the 4 trainings that I wanted to bring your attention to today, if you're not very familiar with it, is where we recently broke down the economic model. So we can click on that. Hopefully it's muted. It looks like it is, and I'll pause it. So this is where we went through into different what-if scenarios, looking at the projections of income that you would generate as a branch. We broke down the different streams, because you're paid 4 times, right? Do you know that you're paid 4 times? Most of your revenue streams that you receive as a branch CEO is passive, and people love passive income. So if you've not really become familiar with any or all of these 4, you really should. So let's open up. We're going to have a brief training today because I have an appointment I have to get to, but let's take a moment or two. Are there any questions that anyone has regarding these 4 trainings, or what we can do for you? Because your success is our success. Each of you that are running a branch, the expectation is that we would have a 30-day ramp-up period, and we're here to help you do that, to get everything together, get your leads, and to get the processes in place. And then you should be active. Your business should be open. We should be enrolling clients, because if we're doing that, we're helping them. And then also you're making money, and there's just no reason that you're not making money. And as we looked at wherever it was, I guess it was this one, there's a lot of money to be made. On average, you should be generating around $26,000 per client, not all up front, of course. And if you watch this training, you'll understand that. Well, if you do that just 8 times a month, which is the minimum that's expected, I mean, you're looking at around $200,000 a month. I know that's not a lot for a lot of you. Many of you, like Jenny and Justin and Kenya, a lot of you make a lot of money already, and I respect that. But this could be a side gig. This doesn't have to replace what you're doing. Part of our service model is having these daily Zooms. And then also we plead with each of you, schedule weekly one-on-one calls so we can go through, answer questions, support you, make sure all of the enrolled clients are on track. You have our phone number here. It's answered live Mondays through Fridays during office hours. You have our email here. But we use what's called Calendly. It's a calendar scheduling software. So that's actually how we schedule. It's very difficult. We're fortunate to have so many of you as distribution partners, but to just respond to everyone on the fly is rather difficult. So that's why we have these group sessions daily, and then we should be having one-on-one scheduled. Anyone need anything today? Is there anything that any of you need to be able to frankly go enroll a client today? Because if you don't, and it's not your fault, I'll take the blame, but if you don't know how to enroll a client, then we need to fix it, right? Because we've given you an editable version of the client agreement. You edit it, you put it in Adobe or DocuSign, whatever you prefer. You provide the link to your lead, you educate the lead, and probably about 90% of them will sign up if you're on the phone with them and follow the model. If you don't know how to do that, let me know. All right, Jeff's asking how much it costs to be involved. So Jeff, what you'll want to do is come down here. There is a setup fee. There is a setup fee to enroll as a distribution partner, but you can game the system. You don't need to pay it, Jeff. What you can do is you can come down here, sign up. We'll work with you. We'll enroll your first client, and your client's generating income. And so you're making around 26,000 per client. It's not get rich quick. It's probably not the money you're making now, but if we do that 8 times a month, again, it's about 200,000. So what's the point? Is there a setup fee? That's Jeff's question. Is there a cost to become a distribution partner? Yes. Does it need to be paid out of pocket? No. Sign up. We'll enroll your first client. Your first client's going to generate income, and you're making profit from day one. So that's the answer. But again, if you have further questions, feel free to let us know. You've got our phone, you've got our email. But I think part of it is just taking the time and be really familiar with probably everything on this website. Because again, if you have a business, which you each have if you've enrolled, that should be making 200,000 in the month of March, which starts in 2 days, right? So you reasonably should be making 200,000 next month. So is it worth spending a couple hours to understand the business model that you have? Can you imagine going and buying a McDonald's franchise or a Domino's franchise or a Midas muffler, whatever your preferred industry is, and saying, I don't really want to learn much about it. I'll just figure it out on the fly. Well, we have other training and support that comes with it, but it starts with just understanding what's on this page, because a lot of what we provide you are editable versions of these resources, your own version of the agreement, your own version of the press release, your own version of the PowerPoint. So I would get familiar with what we do. I'd enroll if you haven't, and then you know how to reach out to us. So I apologize again for a brief session today. I have an appointment I need to get to. We'll be back tomorrow morning, and we look forward to speaking to you soon. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye-bye.